Hello, I am going to do something to this that is related to today's tip. Guess what I think we should do with some of the materials that we have? This is what I'm going to recommend to do for today's tip. We're on tip 4. Get the fingers in there. Tip 4 for our Spring Forward challenge. We're trying to work on getting every last optimal instructional moment out of the last few days of school so we cannot be exhausted and discouraged and depend on a new start in the fall to pump us up, but to really see our kids, particularly our struggling readers, rocket ahead, and that motivates us. That gets us encouraged to go those last few days. So we're having a little fun, trying at some activities that may be different, just some small tweaks that make a lot of difference, and that's what I'm going to show you today in tip number 4. But also we're having some prizes. So if you haven't already found this Spring Forward challenge, please check it out with one of the links in the post above. And on that blog page, you'll find out about some cool prizes. In fact, everyone who participates by responding to how their challenge goes will get at least the basic prize. And some lucky people will win even more. So do give that a try. All right. So I'm about to share this with some other groups, and then we'll get into tip number 4 and why I tore out that piece of paper. Okay. It's not what you expected. Last time we had a tip, if you saw the most recent one, it was about another thing that I was doing wrong. And today I want to talk about something else that sometimes we do wrong that can make a big difference for some of our kids. So let me find this and share this out. I'm going to share this Facebook Live, and then we'll get going. Thanks for tuning in. I was just introducing an error that we often make in our classrooms, and I think if you change this subtle thing I'm going to show you, it might make a big difference. Let me share it one more time. Thanks for waiting, you guys. Well, I'm not going to share it again. Okay, so what I am going to share with you is related to this week's challenge. If you're on week 1, you might be somewhere in this section. You might not quite be on the exact day, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. I want you to know that coming up on Friday, there's something that you will encounter that will be new for this week. You'll see that we have a consonant digraph. Okay? And that's what this lesson's about. That's why I tore up the card at the beginning. So what I want to point out is that a lot of times in our instruction, if we're going to make a word like this is how we do it. Can you see that? And actually, a child might even use an extra line to put this TH on a different line. So this is very common, especially if you use like refrigerator magnets or those ones that are not a whole square or a whole tile, but just the letter itself. So this works, see the pun? That works fine for kids who are really strong phonemically and they have strong phonemic segmentation, phonemic blending, phonemic manipulation. And that works fine for kids who have strong phonics knowledge. But for those beginners or for any strugglers, this is confusing and is sending mixed messages because it's sending the message that this word, this, has 4 sounds because each of these is distinct. And you may think, well, our kids get it. We show them that it's together. And some do, absolutely, but some of them don't. And anything that we do to present with our materials that creates a block for our students is a missed opportunity. So if you're just tuning in, I'm pointing out a way to change your materials just slightly that might make a big difference, particularly for your struggling readers. So what do you think I want you to do with these? Okay, take these digraphs that are separated in your materials and do something different with them. This is all you need to do. Okay, that's today's tip. Take your digraphs and do not let them be separate like this. Rather, put them together like that. Okay, so this is how you should do the word this for this week's switch it activity. So when the child builds the word, she says th, s. Each sound is a separate card, a separate tile. One sound, one tile. So that the child gets the concept that our language isn't really about the alphabet. Our language, the alphabet is something that we use, but really our language is about sounds. And this displays the way our language works. V, I, S. So if you have materials like this, and you want to do our activity Switch It, which is recommended this week in the Spring Forward 25-Day Challenge, which you can get free, I recommend that you make a small change to your digraphs. CH, SH, CK, NG, WH, any of those consonant combinations that have more than one letter, those should be on one card, one tile, one square, because each of these represents one sound. Just like this represents I, one sound, this represents th, one sound. So if you're just tuning in, I'm saying try to dump the digraphs that are separated like this and instead opt for this. And if you don't want to make your materials, I have a post above called something about the child's worldview, where if you link to that, you could get a free PDF of letter sounds that look like this. You can put it on cardstock, cut it up, and get ready to go. So if you are doing this week's, week number 1, Spring Forward Challenge, and you're getting ready to go towards Friday later on this week, and you see that consonant digraph come up in the word this, then I encourage you to make it like this and not like this. Because this is how kids can understand the concept that one sound equals one letter combination. And so this prepares them well for other combinations that they're going to encounter, like IGH. No, the G isn't silent. It all together works together as a unit. It's one thing. The H isn't silent here, the T isn't silent, it's just together, it's a new thing, and we want to represent it as one thing, one sound, not as two separate things. So take those, whenever you're doing a word like this, or that, or with, or ship, or truck, for the K, take that digraph that's separated, and just tear those up. Don't use those for separated ones. These should not be used, but rather build some kind of materials, even the simplest materials, this way, and your kids will make more sense more quickly out of the code, and they'll also be really well prepared for handling the advanced phonics level, all those tricky things like the OA, the OW, the OE, the O silent E, all that combination. This is the foundation for that, because they'll learn that 2 letters can equal one sound, and they'll know that how sounds and symbols map on to print. So this is my tip for today. It's tip 4 in the Spring Forward 25-Day Challenge. We've got prizes. If you go to the post above, you'll find out what those prizes are, including a 3-month free opportunity to be in the Reading Simplified Academy, which is really a comprehensive yet simple membership where you learn how to teach reading to beginners or strugglers. It's really got more information than I had when I was getting my master's or getting a reading specialist license. It's the culmination of 20 years of learning and trying and practicing and observation and reading the research that I have been doing, because I've been fixated on how to get kids to read really quickly, whether they struggle with a learning disability, whether they have dyslexia, or they're just starting, or they're older and they just don't enjoy it. The Reading Simplified Academy will give all that information. So somebody gets to be a winner if they just participate by showing how the Spring Forward Challenge has impacted them or their student or students. So whether you have 5 days of school left or 25, you can participate in the Spring Forward Challenge and make the last few days of school really count, have a little fun, learn a couple new but simple activities, and see if you can be a winner. If you have any questions, I'll be here, and I could love to hear what you're thinking, what doubts you have, or what successes you have. So be sure to post your successes now, and of course, eventually when your school year ends, post your comments on the blog post, the Spring Forward Challenge, so that you can win a prize. Okay, everybody wins if they participate. Thanks for being here, you guys. And I don't know if I ever said this is Reading Simplified. So that's my last Goodbye. ReadingSimplified.com is what is bringing you this little tip for the day.